What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Finally, once again, we are back with F1 22 My Team Career Mode, this time for episode number 6. Really apologise for the very lengthy break between episodes. If you are desperately wondering where I've been, well, I've been at home, I'll tell you that much, and working as usual. But it was well over a month ago, we had a bit of an internet connection issue, and that was affecting the internet or the Wi-Fi connection all over the house, including in my room, which meant that I was unable to connect to the internet, which meant that my PC just wouldn't cope with somehow not connecting to the internet, if that makes sense. So because I couldn't, because I'm in my room, everything's set up in here, there's not a lot of connection from the front of the house to the back of the house, which is where all my PC and stuff is. So yeah, after weeks of just, giving it a break and giving it some time off, yeah, it honestly just wasn't really working. So I had to eventually take everything out to the dinner table where connection was better, and well, I was finally able to connect everything again. And once I successfully connected to the internet, I moved everything back and just prayed that it would all work this time, and thankfully it was. It was very successful. So now that everything is back to normal, hopefully we can get back to making more YouTube videos now. I have sincerely missed all the online racing fanatics. We have some upgrades coming on the car this weekend for Spain. I don't remember what those were. Now we're getting ready for the race weekend proper now, and into practice we go. There was actually something that I noticed. You see that, just that little snap I've oversteered, and look at the tyre pressures, 105, 104 on the left rear. So tyre temps have definitely been increased or from Miami into Spain, or from where we originally were. Tyre pressures were just sitting around low to mid 90s, but yeah, this actually caught me out, like literally big time. So I've had to make some setup changes, had to lower the tyre pressure, see if that helped. It did, but on the soft tyres, it's not gonna be too pretty. This is where we're probably gonna come unstuck in qualifying, because when we get to qualify, usually you just go flat out. That may not be the case in this weekend. If tyre pressures are gonna be an issue, we could be in some strife with tyre pressures. But let's see how that goes in qualifying. So here we go then for qualify for the Spanish Grand Prix. Now, given that this was over a month ago, I'm not going to be as rusty as some of you guys may think, considering how long I've been gone for. Just looking at Oscar, what he does, a 19.5. So that's almost gives us a bit of an idea where we might sit. Just moving over the side to let someone pass, as well as letting up, trying to get our tyre temps up to temperature. It's a Williams. I don't know who that is, and that is Carlos Sainz. He nearly gets taken out by us and the Williams. I didn't see who it was. I think it was Albon that was going stupidly slow. I don't know why he wasn't going past me, cause that was just a little bit silly. I don't know if you guys saw that little wiggle in the back of our car. So I mean, tyre temps weren't that bad in this first lap, but once we do consecutive laps, going around turn 3, it's going to become much more of an issue. We did a cool down lap, so now there's creeping up into the 90s. Just watch the tyre pressures really closely. Yeah, look at that. If you didn't see the wheel, go back and have a look at it. Just had to just make that little correction. So yeah, I think I've lowered the tyre pressures enough. I don't think it's anything to do necessarily with the setup. I actually don't even know what setup we're running with. Oh, there we go, 35-32 wings. I've added a one click of rear downforce just to maybe make that car a bit more stable. What are the tyre pressures at anyway? So yeah, we've lowered the tyre pressures up to 20, but we're going to drop them by 0.5 psi just so they're not going up as fast. Hopefully, let's see what happens. Turn 3 this time. Yep, didn't even move the steering wheel once, so it felt better, I'll say that much. But yeah, as long as it doesn't do like catch me out like that, or if I don't have to correct the steering throughout the whole race, that's going to be a warm welcome to us, because honestly having to do that every lap, especially on the soft tyres, is gonna drive me absolutely nuts, especially where we're gonna be in a fight with the Aston Martins and the Williams most likely throughout this race. So I think we're 6 tenths up as we approach the end of qualifying 1. Piastri improved. I don't know exactly where he went. Hopefully we can get closer to him. Oh, in fact, he's been knocked out. He's 18th, make it 19th. We're dead last at the moment. It's going to be a 7th, 10th improvement. Where are we in qualifying? Second last. That, to be honest, that lap felt pretty good considering we lowered the tyre pressures. Yeah, I'm actually pretty surprised about that. So P21 and P20 for us, respectively. Our closest rivals are probably going to be the 2 Williams and maybe Stroll, depending. Well, we've got Nicholas Latifi, illegal blocking. He gets a grid penalty. Maybe it was Latifi who wouldn't go past us in the early phases of qualifying. And if it was, then he deserves it, because I don't understand why he slowed down anyway. Well, he gets a penalty, we don't. We were trying to be nice and letting him pass, he wouldn't, and that's why he gets the penalty. He deserves it. But yeah, let's see what he can make up in the race, and let's see what we can make up. Ideally, I really want to beat both Williams, honestly.
Welcome along then to what promises to be another fascinating Spanish Grand Prix. It's a race which saw Max Verstappen take victory on his first ever appearance with the Red Bull team in 2016, after that dramatic coming together of Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg. Will we see more moments for the scrapbook here today? It's a sellout crowd of 140,000 here today as we await lights out for the 730-metre sprint down into Turn 1. This is a 2.9-mile racetrack. Overtaking is challenging through the 16 corners, but there's still a lot of high-speed excitement to be found, including the flat-out Turn 3 and the terrifying blind right of Turn 9. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and a very happy Carlos Sainz will start second. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Hamilton, Russell, Sergio Perez and Verstappen, Norris, Ricciardo, Magnussen and Valtteri Bottas, Fernando Alonso, Mick Schumacher, Sebastian Vettel and Ocon, Gasly, Joe, Lance Stroll and Alex Albon, Oscar Piastri, Skip, Tsunoda, they've taken a grid penalty, and Nicholas Latifi.
Okay then, so getting demoted up one spot with Tsunoda's penalty won't really help us too much, would it though? Well, we'll find out. Simple strategy, mediums to hards. The reason why I don't want to use the softs, because it's not a good race tyre and they just wear out pretty quickly, and the chances of us getting a better spot in this race would be pretty slim. Even if we did the undercut on our other competitors, we probably end up maybe even further back than what we could anticipate. So simple, medium to hard strategy. Not going to start on the hards this time. If we can get a good start with the mediums, we should be in the box seat to maybe get a top 16 finish. That's probably the aim, a top 16 finish here for today. As we get ready for 5 red lights ahead of the Spanish Grand Prix, and we are racing. Good initial launch, a little, but then look how everyone just gets away. Probably went up to second gear a little bit too early there, and our tyres are still stone cold, so no wonder why we've got a terrible start. Dive bomb on Sonoda and our teammate almost, but we give Oscar a bit more space than probably Yuki Tsunoda. We're up the inside of Sonoda around turn 3. On our way up to turn 4, we can brake as late as we want, but Tsunoda in that straight line speed of the AlphaTauri almost had the job done, but we bravely dive bomb into turn number 4, and we go around the outside of Oscar and almost Albon, but we've bowled it wide, and Oscar gets a good run, and we'll give him enough space and enough respect at turn 7 and 8. Tsunoda and Latifi having a little scrap as they jostling for positions as we go through the blind turn 9 for the first time, and on our way up to the new turn 10. I feel like turn 10 isn't really much of an overtaking spot anymore. You just gotta sit behind and just wait for the opportunity. This is on board with Tsunoda. He's actually rear-ended Piastri. Hopefully Piastri doesn't have any damage of his own, because that was a pretty significant whack. So Tsunoda will be into the pit lane to change that front wing, and now Latifi is right up our arse, and we used a bit of our battery to get away. We did. Once we turned our battery off, I don't know if you guys saw that, we were just a sitting duck. So yeah, we were able to stay in front with our battery, but once we switched it off, yeah, Latifi had ridiculous straight line speed, as you probably saw in Bahrain with no front wing. So now we're staying with this group of cars being led by Pierre Gasly. For some reason, the AlphaTauris aren't quite as good as what we might have thought. I don't know. I actually don't even remember how their fight went. But what I do know is that I think they've closed the gap to Alpine in real life after Monza. I think that is the case. So we are starting to lose a little bit of touch with this group. I'm just trying to, just stay with them. I really don't want to be fighting with these guys at all. I just want to just stay with them, not use too much of our battery. Oh, Gasly's had a mistake, and we almost collect him as well. And that was a bit of a close moment, if I do say so myself. Let's get a couple of replays up if we can. What's happened to Gasly? He was under pressure from Albon. Maybe he just outbraked himself. Maybe he thought Albon was close enough. Maybe. We'll have a look on the onboard of Albon as we go back. And what has happened here? It's definitely close, and I definitely could have gone for a dive bomb. But I think he forced Gasly into making that lockup, and boy, were we pretty close to making contact. This is on board with Latifi. Boy, you don't want to be getting any closer than that. That could have been almost or pretty much an aeroplane crash. Now we're outside of 1 second to Oscar, so now I'm pushing like crazy now to try and stay with them. I'm hoping that he can make a move on Albon, and just so that those two could just hold each other up and give me the DRS. However, I probably almost want Oscar, or probably us, hold up Gasly and Latifi, and then Oscar can just have free range to make a move on Albon, which looks like he's about to do into turn number 1. He wasn't quite up far enough at the apex, but I think he gets the move done. Surely he'll have the move done. He's got the inside for turn 3, and he'll have the inside for turn 4. But can Albon stay around the outside? It looks like he's able to as we go back to these guys. He's still hanging around the outside. Is Alex Albon? He'll have the inside for turn 5. Can they finally finish this battle though? Don't want to be squabbling too much, because it's going to allow me to get back into the DRS of these guys. They're still side by side heading into turn 7 and 8. Oh, that's not a good spot to go around the outside, but Oscar has made it work. Well done, mate. That was very brave to go around the outside. I wouldn't have thought of that. Now Albon has a cheeky little comeback into turn 10, but he thinks better of it. Wow, what a great half a lap that was. Now and thanks to Piastri, we've now got back into DRS range of these guys, which was a bit of a warm welcome for me if we think about it, because when you're in a DRS train, it gets that much harder to, or make the overtaking chances that much harder. Leaders into the pit lane to change their tyres. I think that was Leclerc going on to a set of hards. He'll take those to the end of the race. Looks like everyone pretty much is doing a one stop apart from Tsunoda. He will have to make another stop. Ricardo goes on to a set of hards, I think that was. Who else into the pit lane? Alpine, a Haas. The Haas is going on to hards. I think that's Magnussen. Guan Yu Zhou into the pit lane for Haas. So it looks like everyone is on a one stop. Lance Stroll also on hard tyres as well. As out comes Fernando Alonso. It is Fernando, and he's also on another set of hards. So it looks like everyone on a one stop, just like we are today. Into the pit lane we go on lap 14, not too long after the leaders, and we are going to go on to the hard compound tyres ourselves. So we'll take these hards to the end of the race. We could almost pretty much push from here on in, because I don't think tyre wear or tyre temperatures on the hards won't be as bad as the mediums or the softs may be. A little bit slow to get away there. It was a 2.4 second stop, but we were just a little bit slow in getting away there. We've crossed the white line with pit exit, which is definitely a no-go. So now we are getting the tyres up to temperature. We're weaving on the straight a little bit, which I wouldn't think that would be allowed in the written regulations. But out comes Latifi and Gasly. They're going to be on stone cold tyres. Our tyres are now up to temperature pretty much, so we should be able to go around the outside of Gasly, and we do successfully. Gasly would have had to be careful with those hards. You don't want to be spinning out and creating a flat spot on those hard tyres. Now this is my teammate Piastri. He's coming out back into this race ahead of Albon just about, but he's on stone cold tyres. Albon came in the same time as us, so he'll have nice warmer tyres than Oscar, and I think Oscar may have just about held off that little fend. Now can Oscar just stay ahead of Albon now, which you would think with Oscar being on a lap or so fresher tyres, you'd think so. But if Albon can stay within the DRS, then he's going to cause massive headaches for Oscar. But the same thing for us is that we're on older tyres than Oscar. He should be able to break away from us, but we're on slightly older tyres than Latifi and Gasly, who are behind us. So they can probably causes massive headaches as well. Here comes Albon on our teammate on the run down to turn number 1, and I don't think Oscar is going to fight that too much, because I think he knew that move was coming for a little while since he came out of the chicane basically. Lap 22 now.
Just so you know, we're getting some strange readings from a couple of the sensors, so I don't think you need to be worried, just some bad data, so keep doing what you're doing. I'll let you know if we notice any genuine problems.
Okay, so that doesn't really sound too concerning, because it's something that the team is Max Verstappen is out of the Grand Prix. Once again, the reigning champion is out of a race. That was his teammate ahead having a nice slide, and it looks like coming out of turn 3, it looks like he was told to just pull over. That is really, really strange from Red Bull. Given their reliability issues at the start of the year, they actually they've been pretty good, basically since Canada for Perez at least, but from Australia for Max. So Max hasn't had a single issue, but talk about that another time. Now we're under pressure from Latifi. We make him go to the outside. We've got a nice run through turns 1 and 2. We were able to stay ahead for a little while longer. But yeah, that was a little bit weird on how Verstappen retired. Didn't see any smoke coming out of the back of the car. And Latifi goes for a blind move into turn 4. Did not expect that. Thankfully, we had the awareness to give him enough room and enough respect. But boy, Latifi is right on us. But the longer we can keep him behind, the more his tyres are going to hurt. He gets the move done before we get to the apex, but we dive bomb him back up at turn 10. So we hold on to P18, I think this is, for a little while longer. So up to 2 spots each for myself and Piastri. Hopefully we can keep this position for now. I think Mark said something over the radio. I think he was telling me about the gap or something. I think we were okay. It's a turn 1, but no, Latifi goes for another move, and I did not expect that. There was contact definitely made. We go off the track. It looked like I did not think that Latifi would go for that move. This AI are so aggressive. I tell you, the AI. Well, speaking of AI Fernando Alonso is out of his home Grand Prix as well. And if I'm not mistaken, that is 2 Spanish GPs in a row that Fernando Alonso has DNF'd at his home track. Think back to the most recent Spanish GP on F1 2021. But like Verstappen, no smoke. Looks like coming out of the back of that car. So yeah. Latifi, he's 4 tenths behind us, but he's not going to go for a move under yellow flag. So we're okay for now, but we are not okay from this man, Charles Leclerc, who is leading this race, and we are a big chance of getting lapped here. We're going to zoom in. We're on lap 29 now, so only a 4 laps to go next time onto the straight. But he's right there. He's only entering turn 11, and we are entering the chicane. So I'd say he's about 4 or 5 seconds behind us. But
right, we've got enough fuel for 3 more laps.
Even though we've got enough fuel for 3 laps, I think we're going to fall 1 lap short, because I don't think we can fend off Leclerc and stay on the lead lap and go a full distance. I think we're going to just fall short by a lap. We're going to find out very, very soon. I think Latifi right about now will be getting blue flags, and once he gets out of the way, that means we're going to get the blue flags. And there's Latifi letting Leclerc by. But at this point, that very point, we get the blue flags. But I don't want to let him pass just yet, because I want to wait until we get close to the main straight, or right about here, where we can let Leclerc go. And maybe, if we can get a good enough run out of the chicane and stay close enough and spam our overtake, we're going to grab some DRS, and hopefully we can have a look up the inside at turn 1, but we're not close enough. It was worth a go, but Ferrari and Leclerc are literally unstoppable so far at the start of season 1 of My Team Career Mode. Round the final turn for Leclerc, and he wins the Spanish Grand Prix, and he sets the fastest lap of the race as well.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
That pretty much shows his dominance right there. So 17th for us. I think Oscar's going to get 16th in the end, so not a bad result for the team.
Another Spanish Grand Prix is over, and what a special race it was. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
And here we are, a team that is no stranger to the podium, taking their place on top once again. A sublime race today, and a stunning win for Ferrari.
Well, the question now remains, is who can stop him? 6 races down, what's there, 17 races to go? Long way to go, but Leclerc really is going to take some beating, and Ferrari, no sign of stopping this team anytime soon. someone is eventually going to have to step up. But yeah, we're going to have to wait and see how that pans out. So 16th and 17th for us respectively. Oscar definitely showing some good signs. He can prove that he can be sort of where I am, sort of that lower midfield, or essentially, you know, trying to be best of the rest. But giving that the standings doesn't really look that way, we're gonna have to find a way for us to somehow score points, which it's not going to be easy. So it looks like our closest rivals are probably going to be Williams and Aston Martin. If we somehow score big points, we might be able to maybe fight FERRARI, maybe in the latter stages of the season, but we're going to have to dramatically upgrade our car if we're going to get anywhere near that team. But guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a massive thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already to see plenty more F1 and racing game content. So hopefully we can have some issue-free time for now. But yeah, I'm seriously not liking this many issues that I've got with my PC at the moment. It's really frustrating to not do episodes, especially when other F1 creators are up to like season 2 or 3 or whatever, and we're not even halfway, or probably not even a quarter of a way or a third of the way through season 1. So I'm gonna try my best and get through these episodes as rapidly as possible. But guys, I honestly do not make any promises on how that's actually going to happen. All I can say is that I'll do my best and I'll do whatever I can, but I honestly don't make any promises. If I make a promise, that means I'll have to keep that promise and do the best I can. But I'll do what I can, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until the next one, the Monaco Grand Prix, I'll see you next time.